Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country. I think it's a very nasty question. I have answered the question. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late.
What the nation has seen is this incredible buildup with journalists here reportedly upset because Donald Trump was coming. Some of them, and some of them we really hadn't heard from. So what I loved about what you couldn't see today was how much of that audience was enjoying the moment of hearing from a candidate that they might not always agree with. And that is the whole point. That is the growth of journalism, to be able to listen and question those things that you may not know about because you don't often talk to that person or those people. That was the goal here. So for all of that pushback, young journalists that I'm talking to after the event are saying, well, we're glad he's here.
believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say, no, I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much. And she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe that she is...
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask, continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
As a person of color, as a black woman who is in this position that is standing before you at this podium behind this lectern, what he just said, what you just read out to me, is repulsive, it's insulting, and you know, no one has any right to tell someone who they are, how they identify. That is no one's right.
This morning he has questioned Kamala Harris's black identity in a combative interview with black journalists. Joining us live now is Republican strategist John Jordan. John, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. So what did you make of this exchange?
Well, first of all, everybody knows what they're getting with Trump. You know, he's not a scripted politician. He just does it, ad hoc, and some people love him for it. Drives the media crazy. And in this country, the media is clearly not in his corner, and they're always going to try to create a tempest when there really shouldn't be one. Couple things to note about this. Three things. First of all, where was Kamala Harris? It was the National Association of Black Journalists. She didn't even show up. Two, she is actually, Kamala Harris is not actually fully black. Actually, she's not. She claims that she is, but she's half Indian. The other half is Jamaican, which is, a hodgepodge of wonderful different races. And so she's actually part Scottish and Irish, too. So what Donald Trump was drawing attention to isn't race particularly. He was trying to draw attention to the fact that she is a politician of convenience. She's whatever she needs to be at the moment. And given the Democrats' fetish for identity politics, she's going to latch on to whatever she needs to be a more effective opportunist. And that's what he's really kind of drawing attention to, because when she was in district attorney in San Francisco, which is like 80 miles from where I'm sitting, she didn't really campaign on that or talk about that. She went to school in Berkeley. She's not really part of the American black experience per se. And he was trying to draw attention to the disingenuousness of her campaign. And she hasn't even given a press conference of any sort now in weeks, where Trump is willing to do these off-the-cuff, rough and tumble interviews, which is good sometimes. And when the media is out to get you, it's not so good sometimes. But in the end of the day, this is just another Trump storm in the media. Yeah, sure. But do you support what he said? It sounds like you do. Well, I wouldn't have done it quite that way, frankly, because I'm different, but I get what he was trying to do and largely agree with it. She is a political opportunist. One minute she is a tough on crime prosecutor, and then in 2020 in Black Lives Matter, she's raising money to bail out rioters and saying that she wants to defund the police. So she flip-flops and is so much of a chameleon and whatever seems to fit her at the moment that, I get why he did that. And that's what he's trying to draw attention to. And I think ultimately it'll work out that way. Okay, well, we'll have to close here because we just have to keep it brief today. But the black vote is so crucial in this election. Is this problematic for Trump now? Does that vote now all swing behind Kamala Harris? No, Kamala Harris, the Democrats are always going to get north of 75% of the black vote. Historically, Republicans have only gotten 8% of it. Mathematically, if you look at the Electoral College and how this works, if a Republican gets over 13%, it's over for the Democrats, everything else being equal. And Trump is polling ahead in that. People don't like being lied to, and people don't like being taken advantage of, and identity politics in America is starting to break down. Is this another version of birtherism? No, he's not. He's merely stating, that's a media construct, birtherism. All he was doing was saying that in that case that Obama didn't necessarily produce a birth certificate. And I believe that Obama was born in the United States, ultimately. But he's merely drawing attention to how this woman changes to whatever she needs to be to fit the political moment. She's completely disingenuous and candidate is shaped by focus groups and polls. Yeah. And that's what he's drawing attention to.
Okay, we'll see where this lands. But John, always good to chat. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.